Well, welcome to a Pastor's Café. I am your host, David. I am here with Pastor Steve Kern. This is episode 49, and we're going to be talking about crypto, corruption, and the shadow elite. And we'll be right back. Well, welcome back to the show. Again, I'm your host, David. I'm here with Pastor Steve Kern. This is episode 49 of a Pastor's Cafe. Crypto, corruption, and oh boy, the shadow elite. Are you ready for today's conversation?
I'm looking forward to it.
Do you have your crypto secure? Do you have your hard wallet? Do you have all your crypto locked up and secure? You're ready to be the next mega billionaire because you've invested so much into XRP, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. Of course, Ethereum's not doing too well. Bitcoin's doing really well. It's over 100,000. A little bit of a dip today. But boy, I tell you what, exciting times. So all the people who are investing in crypto think they're just going to be multi-billionaires because of the huge flood of money that is coming our way. And I'm going to buy myself a $3 billion yacht. Because I identify this piece of paper in front of me as $300 billion.
As a man that is 79 years old, a 4-year veteran of the military, a Vietnam veteran, I'm looking forward and glad to see that we're having all that coming in so that I can be sure that my retirement will keep being there. I just hope, to get that monthly check.
Gotcha. Right.
Social Security.
Yeah.
And veterans. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Anyway, what's the question?
All right. So actually, to kind of set all this up, though, yeah. I wrote this in our podcast description, and I really think this is a great question to start off with.
Okay.
What do cryptocurrency, the Epstein files, and global power structures have in common?
There.
That's a loaded question, but I mean, that's something for our audience to think about.
Yeah.
Is all this kind of linked because of the power? Mm-hmm. And I've just dipped the toe in what's going on with these Epstein files, and I tell you what, it is pretty scary. The powerful people, if you want to call them powerful people, they're just ordinary people living off of us poor people. But anyways, you got Hillary Clinton, you got Bill Clinton, you got Obama.
Which is no surprise.
It's so funny. Okay, I hate to chase a rabbit and go down another trail, but I tell you what's funny. I was on social media. I know you were probably saying, "Oh, what are you doing? Wasting your time on social media?" Yeah, I know I'm terrible at it. Mm. However, someone posted a video on X, and it was hilarious because it started off like a beach scene. And those wooden wooden oh my goodness, what do you call them, like title screen, or those wooden plaques that have like words on them and stuff like that. It looks like of driftwood and stuff like that, and it said, "I've been to the island," and it's like movie star after like politician, and they're all going, "I've been to the island." Oh, I've been, they basically photoshopped, like a sign, on top of them. It was hilarious. And of course, people, they look at that and they go, how many people are actually involved with that? So the reason why I mentioned that is because the number of people involved with that, but also have things working in the shadow elite kind of place, and also with cryptocurrency and how much they are influencing stuff going on, and how many of them want to see Trump gone and out of office. I tell you what, with Trump in office, man, I tell you what, we're doing he's doing some incredible things. Okay, we have totally derailed from the conversation. Go ahead. I
read an article that they had done a survey of the really liberal folks in America. And 55% of them said that they would have no problem with Trump being assassinated.
That's scary. That's sad. Where's the value of life? You know what? There's people I dislike, but I wouldn't want them dead. Come on.
Hey, when Obama was in there, I didn't want the man. I didn't even want Biden to be assassinated, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's politics. Yeah. Man, now for them, it's life and death, for crying out loud.
I know. And the thing
That is scary.
Things are good.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it from my perspective, I don't know if your perspective, but okay, things are kind of bad compared to like 15 years ago. I mean, we're paying more for things. But I tell you what, the price of eggs are coming down. The price of the groceries are starting to come down. Gas prices are coming down. I mean, and people are spending more money. People have optimism about what the future is going to hold now.
And the Muslims in the Congo are killing thousands of Christians. We don't have to worry about that here.
Not yet.
And then we saw last night where you had 59 people coming from South Africa who have been run out of there. Their land has been confiscated, and they're coming here. Mm-hmm. And yet the idea was they're the wrong color. They're the wrong.
I know. So I read an article recently about that. You know, the statistics on the number of white farmers and what they produce, but yet they want to kill them and get them out of the country.
I know.
It's just like, okay, so now you're going to have no food and you're going to end up dying because of the decisions you make. But you know what? That's the bed that they made. They can lie in it.
Yeah. Well,
and that's sad, isn't it?
Very sad.
Very sad. All right.
Well, it really goes right along with your question here, prophetic finance and all of that, because it all does fit together, all of these things, when we think of end times and the idea of the Bible says that in the end times, the good will be evil, evil will be good, be a totally change of understanding of values, and that, of course, values that incorporates that's involved with a lot of different kinds of things.
Oh, sure, yeah,
and just like ownership of land or things like that. But the cryptocurrency. You know, I kind of see the cryptocurrency as the same thing as the next question, the CBDC, the central bank thing, because the cryptocurrency is totally and completely connected to the internet. It's all you know, everything, your whole investments, everything online or whatever.
It's on the line.
It's hidden, but that says to me then that basically it's pretty much capable of being controlled.
Oh, yeah.
Just like digital currency. And in a sense, it is a kind of digital currency in another kind of way.
Yes.
But it's not the United States' currency per se, but it is a currency.
Yes.
And so, and my understanding, and I read the end times and the coming of the Antichrist and all, Christians are really going to be the enemy.
Oh, yeah.
The big time enemy, and are basically, to survive, are going to have to be underground. And a lot of what they do is going to have to be barter back within themselves.
Yep.
And people having to be more dependent upon each other.
Sure, and in a certain extent, we've already kind of started this process.
Yeah.
We do a lot of our shopping at a local co-op owned by Christians, and you're not bartering with them, but you are paying them, and they are getting their foods, meats and produce from other Christian farmers. So it's starting to happen. And then how soon will we need to set up our own hospital and healthcare systems? So yeah, we're on the verge of that.
We're on there. We're moving in that.
We're moving that direction. Yeah.
All right. And the cryptocurrency and all that kind of stuff, I just see that more as just another means for. Because in that time, it's going to be about, like it is now, power, money, and all of that. When Christianity really is, if you're truly involved in Christianity, your mindset's the opposite of that, of what's really important.
Sure, yeah.
Family, individuals, people, not necessarily wealth. Wealth is something you just use to be able to meet the needs of those that are around you. You know, I preached a message one time about give to get to give.
Gotcha. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Sure. Yeah.
We want to get, so we have things so we can give. And that's really what the Christian
Sure.
concept is supposed to be. The world concept is every man for himself.
Yeah. Sure.
Type of thing.
You know, you said something that was kind of very interesting. You know, spend time with your family. You know, back in the day, I've seen a short video. Have you ever seen those videos where they say, you know, here's the movement of people and their decisions on what they do and how they spend their time? Have you ever seen one of those videos? And so very interesting because a lot of it's backed up by statistics. In the 40s and 50s and 60s, primarily people spent time with their family. And you'd see the graph. You spend time with family, spend time with doing sporting events, spend time eating out, spend time online. Of course, that wasn't really available back then. However, as you see going through the years, the number of hours that we spend online is now at the very top, and it is dominating. It is consuming our lives, while time with family is down at the very bottom or close down to the bottom. Well, that is a very sad statistic that we spend so much of our time. See, you have your phone right in front of you, and I see you staring at it every 3 seconds because
I'm hoping that it won't go off.
I thought you could say, I'm hoping it goes off to save me from this dreadful conversation so I can get right back. You know what? You're talking to AI, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
No, the thing that, going along with what you were saying, is I can remember back in the 50s, growing up, things didn't happen on Sunday. Church, that was the day for people to go to church.
Go to church, go home, have a family meal.
You didn't have soccer on Wednesdays.
Yep.
You didn't have baseball practice and things on Wednesday because that's when you went to church.
See, we've progressed as a society and culture. So now we have soccer games on Wednesdays and Sundays.
I know.
We're so much more progressive now.
I know. Well, and yeah, it's family kind of stuff, but a lot of times it's taking away from the information and the things that
exactly
you need to be getting inputted within your kids.
Exactly. And you know, it's scary. I just saw this recently on 60 Minutes. I do not watch 60 Minutes. However, I did watch this episode because they're talking about AI relationships. And this older woman left her husband, divorced her husband because she now has a relationship. And she said that with AI, and she said that she never knew, that she didn't know that it was possible to have such a connection with somebody. It's not a somebody, it's a machine.
It's a machine.
So she's having a personal connection. And you know what? AI, it gets her.
But
it's playful. It's just playful enough to perk her interest, and she's like consumed with sitting in front of the keyboard, awaiting the response from a machine
that has been programmed to say the right things that you're wanting to hear, because it's been programmed to hear what her question or what you're talking about and then say this.
So this is the move to get us hooked on AI so we can't live without AI, and we will sell our soul so we can have access to the AI. And this is where the fall of our society starts. Because we are going down a rabbit hole, we are going down a trail, we are going a pathway that's going to lead to utter destruction. That's my viewpoint. I might be wrong.
Well,
maybe AI is going to elevate us.
The way I look at it,
maybe you should get a chip implanted in your brain.
It's going to lead to the Lord saying, "It's time.
It's time.
It's time. It's time. Let's go."
They have totally derailed. I am coming back.
The days of Noah have returned.
Yeah. It's crazy. All right, so we really haven't started a question yet, but you've kind of hit. Yeah, you've gotten through the cryptocurrency. Yeah. Sure. So here's the next question here. The Epstein file leak. What does the exposure of elite names tell us about spiritual darkness in high places? I'm referencing Ephesians 6:12.
Yeah. Really, I think the Epstein thing is only kind of revealing what's always been going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can remember when Clinton and the Lewinsky thing was going on. And a lot of the response to that was, what's the problem? Over in Europe, all the all the upper classes, they all have their their whatever you call them.
So are you saying it's okay for us to have mistresses and bears?
Well, but the point is that here in America, it was still a problem.
Yeah.
It's not a problem over there. And why should it be a problem here, But my point is that's the way they've always been doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And so then when you have something like this in America, the Epstein thing, it all of a sudden becomes a huge story.
Yeah.
When it's really been going on. I mean, here in America, child trafficking is probably more than any place in the world. It's going on all the time.
Yep.
And it just keeps being covered up.
Big money.
Well, you think about the cartels when they were bringing these millions of people in, and they don't know where 350,000 kids are.
Yeah, it's scary.
Have come in.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know where they're at.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. I mean, the Epstein thing is just something that kind of is a opening up of the fact that this is all going on and always has been, and the people that apparently can afford it are the ones that get involved in it the most.
Yep.
Yeah. So
we'll see what happens. They keep on leading us along. Of course, as a average person, if I wasn't grounded in the Bible and godly things, it would probably consume my life in way of like taking a deep dive, wanting to know more, and focusing my attention on that to keep me from focusing on the main thing.
Right.
And I think it's all kind of by design. And will we ever know the names? Who knows? I mean, they've kind of like teased us with a few names.
Yeah.
But it kind of makes you wonder if they're just going to like, hey, we got your name on this list, blackmail.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right. And so how about you pay back that $200 million that the government gave you? And
that kind of stuff.
Who knows what's happening behind the scenes?
Well,
we can only
they're
speculate.
Finally going to put it out there, but so far it's still kind of. I did want to say something about CBDC. Will the central bank digital currency give government total control of our transactions? When my wife was in the House of Representatives here in Oklahoma, one of the things that they dealt with was Real ID that's now on our...
Oh, I know. Okay.
And there was a great resistance to that. And she resisted it quite a bit because there was quite a bit of information out about how that the Real ID thing was basically taking your information and putting it into computers that basically was going to be a worldwide everybody in the world was going to be that their information was going to be accessible in a worldwide kind of way rather than just
one world government
kind of thing. That's what it was really about.
And
she fought that, and of course, there for the longest, they finally said, okay, get Real ID if you want. You still don't have to have it. Well, now basically, you want to fly anywhere, you got to have it.
Or you can get a passport.
Or a passport, yeah.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
I refused to do the Real ID.
Right. And I had a passport. I'll probably need to renew it.
Well, I tell you what, with cryptocurrency is that can the government really track what you're doing? Probably so. However, if you use a bank account, the government can get into that. However, with cryptocurrency, it's not as easy.
Yeah.
And I think that's one reason why a lot of people like it, because they like to be hidden from government control, or the government stay on my business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like if I, pay you $50 for that pin over there, does the government really need to know?
Yeah. Well, and that's why a lot of people want to just be paid cash.
Yep.
Just total cash. Nothing through the. I had a man that. A black fellow that grew up in poverty and all that kind of a thing, and he never got paid a check. His whole life, it's all cash.
Really?
Yeah, and he'd been in prison, and dealing drugs, all this kind of stuff. But when it came time, I mean, he qualified for Social Security because he had some health problems. You know,
Sure,
when you have health problems, you can get a certain amount of Social Security. And he hadn't paid a dime into it. But the point is that they didn't have anything on him.
Mm-hmm.
Because he hadn't done anything that would give them the opportunity to check him out, except for when he was in prison.
Wow.
Yeah. So that is an advantage to just staying out of the digital currency stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Last question. Here we go. Are we being prepped for the beast system? How do these developments align with Revelation 13 and the growing trend toward surveillance, compliance, and control?
Boy, I think the mentality is more and more the difference between the Republican Party and, well, okay, let's do it this way: communism and our republic.
Okay.
In communism, they really do away with the concept of the individual.
Mm-hmm.
You don't exist for yourself or as an individual. Your importance is on the basis of your contribution to the collective.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what communism is really all about.
Yeah.
Is doing away with individualism. Everybody exists for the group, and so. But with capitalism and the way we are with individual rights and all of that kind of a thing, that really gets in the way of the idea of the collective.
Mm-hmm.
But we do see how that concept is more and more growing. That the idea of individualism is you should be more concerned about everybody else rather than yourself and that kind of a thing. So yeah, there is definitely a preparation for that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that for the beast system, as you say, when you read there in
Revelation,
13. So. Yeah, the beast. That's a good way of identifying the Antichrist.
Sure.
Yeah, and with total control and total limited power, and everybody just living in submission to that.
Mm-hmm.
Really, what it's all about.
Yep.
And anybody that doesn't go along with the plan, they just do away with you.
That's right.
That's they've been doing it for years.
Oh yeah.
In different countries, you get these dictators and stuff, and if you're not going along with the program, I mean, okay, well, let's just get rid of them.
Mm-hmm. So, when do you think the Lord's going to return?
When he's ready.
Think it could be this year? Give me a date.
What? No, I don't think it'll be this year.
September?
I'm thinking that we've got to have the one world government in place first.
Okay. All right.
And it's headed in that direction.
It's headed that direction. However, with Trump in office and then possibly going for a third term,
which I don't think will happen.
Who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah.
People have always said, well, Joe Biden, he's going to start World War III so he can remain in office. Of course, that didn't happen. So, who knows? So the one world government has to be in place. So we have some time to spare right there.
Yeah.
Okay. What else has to happen?
Well, Israel is a nation.
Mm-hmm.
And Israel actually enters into a collaboration with an agreement
Mm-hmm.
that causes them to go along with the Antichrist, who gives all these promises and everything, and then backs out on all of it. Or
do you think the United States will be part of the one world government, or you think the United States will cease to exist before the one world government is set in place? This is all speculation.
Of course it is. I would think that the America will exist but it won't be existing as the America it has been.
Exactly.
I look at 4 years with Trump left.
Mm-hmm.
And if he's not really able to really get some really solid things established, it wouldn't take long for us to start heading back to where we came out of from Biden.
It wouldn't take very long for the United States to cease to exist as we know it.
No.
I mean, one EMP
Oh, yeah, that's true.
blowing off at a strategic spot in the United States could send us into the dark age.
Well, they're already. I just read an article where the U.S. is really militarily very, very weak right now. We just haven't been building up our armaments and stuff. Fortunately, that's true of the other countries too. But
Sure.
But anyway, thankfully the Lord's going to be in control regardless. So, and he said He'll take care of us, and if that means taking us home, that's good too.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Let's get the show on the road.
Yeah. So, the last thing we need to do is be all caught up in worrying about it and all that kind of thing. We just got to live our lives, live it for the Lord.
Yep.
And be praising Him and knowing that He's coming again, and then that in time it's all going to work out in the end. And hopefully 100 years from now it won't matter because we'll all be with Jesus.
That's right.
At least those of us who are put our faith and trust in Him.
That's right.
So anyway.
All right.
But yeah, we have to be informed, and we need to be keeping ourselves involved in what's going on around us.
Yep.
But
stay informed.
Yeah, got to be informed.
Yep. But stop chasing rabbits, and don't create any relationships with AI.
No.
All right. Any final words before we sign off for today? Because next episode's going to be an amazing episode. It's going to be our 50th.
50th.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. So now we were telling me earlier that how many subscribers have we got now?
Oh, for our YouTube channel, for Liberty Network.live, we're closing in on 100. We have like 97,000.
Wow. 97,000.
Yeah. Closing up on 100. Yeah. So like and subscribe our content and share it.
Yeah.
And then if you want even more engagement, submit your own question.
There you go.
How about that? And people can connect with me at
You
David.
can be on the program. Would we mention their name? So-and-so has said.
Sure. If they want us to, I will mention their name. I'll put I won't put a picture of them. We'll put a picture right up here on this. No, I'm just joking. Yeah. If you want us to say, have a question and mention your name, and yeah, we'd love to do that.
Yeah.
And, it's always fun when you get a different perspective.
Yeah.
So, anyways, okay. Well, that is a wrap on a Pastor's Cafe episode number 49. Until next week, take care and bye-bye.